The time has come for me to do a story time on my two convict ex-husbands that everybody keeps getting confused, which I understand it's confusing because, truth be told, I have 4 ex-husbands that are convicts and 1 ex that's not a convict. That's another story time. Let's begin. In 2001, I was coming out of a 12-year relationship with my non-convict cowboy, now ex-common law husband, otherwise known as my daughter's father, Mariah, her father. 12 years with this guy. Okay, what do? I write 2 inmates on a prison pen pal website. Both wrote me back. One was Aaron, otherwise known as AJ. The other was Tony. AJ was in California. Tony was in Florida. AJ wrote a really nice letter, very serious, beautiful penmanship, very intelligent. Tony, scribble scrabble, misspelled words, funny as all get out, real jokester. Who do I go with? This guy. Okay? End up going to Florida, have a great time. About a year later, end up marrying the guy. I'm completely smitten with Tony, head over heels. And then after about 5 years, the marriage started to just dissolve because he was losing his mind being in prison and he was just not being very nice. So I divorced him. Tony was about to get released out of a prison in Florida, and what happens? They find an old case from 1987 in Ohio and ship him off. Bye, Tony. A few months later, I get a random phone call from some guy named Aaron. I didn't even know who he was. And he has to remind me, hey, you're the lady that wrote me in prison in the mountain. Let's go have some lunch. Okay, so I do. A short time later, he ends up moving in, and we get married in Las Vegas. Not even sure why. We were like friends. It was a weird relationship. But I stayed married to him for about a year, and he was on our TV show for a couple of minutes or so, and then he gets into trouble and goes back to prison. Stayed married to AJ for many years, and then he starts having some suspicious behavior over the phone, and I find out some things, and I divorce him. Then in the year 2018, lo and behold, I find some personal effects of Tony's in some of my boxes, and I'm like, you know what, he's going to want these back. So I find out where he's at in Ohio, and I write him. What does he do? He ends up sending me this video.
Well. It's been a long time. Hey, I just want you to know I love you. Really proud of the girls, man. Girls couldn't have been no fucking, came out perfect, man. So happy for them. And I really miss you. I've missed you so much. Hope to hear more from you. All right, get out of that dark shell. Love you.
So after hearing that video, I was like, really? Stuck back in. Did I mention that Tony remarried? But to be fair, they were trying to get divorced. Apparently, they got into some trouble through some nefarious behaviors and realized that they were not a good match for each other, criminally or romantically. Fast forward, and it's almost time for Tony to be released. And lo and behold, AJ gets released from prison and moves in with his suspicious behavior. But I wasn't worried about that. I was moving forward and moving on, and Tony makes plans to move out here to Louisiana, where he is currently not living under the same roof as me, but living on the same property as me. And he works for me and helps me out around the house. So there you have it. The difference between AJ and Tony is pretty extreme. Was there any confusion?